Hey everybody, welcome back to Higher Density Living. You are here with Jason Rigby and Alexander McKegg. And before we open up today to talk about certain aspects of UFOs and NASA, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Quality Mazda of New Mexico. Fantastic dealership for an educational buying experience on a very well-made, long-lasting vehicle, which are quite quality. You drive one?
Yeah, I drive a Mazda CX-5.
Great ride. So, it's very comfortable.
Yeah. Just drove it right up to here.
Awesome audio, all-wheel drive, solid stuff. But if you go to qualitymazdanm.com and you're in the local area of Colorado, New Mexico, or Texas, you can actually buy the vehicle online and have it shipped directly to the house.
Yep, it's perfect.
Hell yeah. So we'd like to thank them for supporting. Probably one of the most important things ever is that the creational teachings and everything else we do here at Higher Density Living. I mean, like, I've never met any other automotive group that does that.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Much love to them. So, Jason, you brought me an article here, specifically around NASA announces UFO study team members. Now, as everybody knows, there's been a large amount of disclosure that has been going on around these things flying around in our skies.
They don't know what they are.
They don't know what they are. How could you not know what it is if you're staring directly at it? It's an object that defies gravity. It's super fast and highly technological.
And can go in and out of water.
Does it look organic? No.
Yeah.
Is it shiny and metal? Okay. Great. So it tells you that someone's smarter than you and it's coming from somewhere. That's the obvious.
Yes.
Now, a good friend of mine, Avi Loeb, physicist, I think we've done a couple podcasts with him.
Yeah, we've done two.
Side.
Yeah.
He actually designed this panel and was the one that actually pitched it to NASA, essentially the UAP study. So unidentified aerial phenomenon. Okay. So it's a bird that doesn't look like a bird, but moves faster than a bird. It's a UAP. He designed this and brought this to them. And only just recently was there an announcement, which we found mid-October, to say that they had decided on who the panel of experts was going to be to essentially look at these extraterrestrial objects, and you can't call them that. They're UAPs that are flying around in our skies or in our oceans. Now, do you remember Project Blue Book?
Yes.
Happened after the Roswell crash.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty much 2.0 of Project Blue Book. Now, the first Project Blue Book, which everyone's very well aware of, is that it was well funded by the CIA to make sure that it was a diversion from the actual truth that was occurring. It was essentially a smear campaign against the idea that these UFOs actually exist.
Yes, I remember.
But now there's been so much of a cultural change and people are becoming more open to the fact that these things are in the skies. We have devices now that allow us to record constantly. So there's been more of these captures. And then you have the government, which comes out and says, oh, hey, we've caught some of these things on camera. Let's talk about it. And there are people who've been on Joe Rogan and everything of the sort. So it's becoming a very popular thematic thing for society, which people need to essentially start to put attention towards. And having this attention towards it will help people understand what this thing is. So this article today, and I'm glad I get to read the article.
Yes.
It says NASA announces UFO study team members. And so NASA's announced that 16 researchers and experts who will comprise the space agency's independent UFO study team. The intriguing project aims to serve as a proverbial launchpad for future studies on unidentified aerial phenomenon by determining how data collected by government, civilian, and commercial sources can potentially be analyzed to shed light. What's obnoxious here? Is can potential? What do you mean can? Every time you observe something, it gives you more data. That data is run through an analysis. We have so much technology to know if something has been manipulated in terms of it visually. So, picture's fake. Picture's legit. Is it refracting something? Is it emitting a field? You'd be able to see these things with just basic photography or video footage that is actually occurring.
Our upgraded radar.
Upgraded radar. I have some friends who work at the Albuquerque FAA office. So this general quadrant of the United States, and for those of you who are international listeners, the United States is broken off into distinct regions where air traffic control, the larger majority, outside of tower traffic you find at airports, these are the ones that are actually watching these cross-continental flights. They have not footage, but they record radar footage all the time, and pilots will call in. And so I had asked them, I was like, hey, and these guys are nerds. They're sitting in this big dark room, big screens everywhere, radars flying around, having a blast. no shoes, shorts, Hawaiian shirts, chilling, but managing all the cross-continental flights. I said, how many UFOs show up on radar? Oh, they're like every single day. Every single day. Some of the finest Doppler radar technology shows up every single day, and it's reaffirmed and confirmed by the pilots flying around.
Yeah, there was a guy, a pilot that just showed up on. I want to make sure I get his name. I'm going to look it up. He was on Joe Rogan here recently. I think I sent it to you. But basically, what he said is once they updated the fighter jets radars, they started seeing these every time they went out. Yeah, that's all the pilots saw them every time they went out.
Are my friends at the FAA
on the East Coast and the West Coast. Once they got about 10 miles out,
every day,
every
single day, which tells me that there are way, way, way more of these things in the sky than we actually thought.
Yes.
So this project here, that NASA's setting up, you got 16 researchers and experts. They want it to run for 9 months using only publicly available information.
Why are they only using public information?
And why only 9 months? You would have to make a career out of this sort of research and analysis. There's too much data. There is too much data and footage to sift through to say that, 9 months.
Well, especially when you're looking at, and I like the analogy of calling it UAP. I think that allows it to be not so, UFO has a stigma, you know what I mean, with it. So I think changing the name was important because whenever you're looking at one, I think, and this was probably the biggest concern out of everybody, is if we're seeing these every single day, what the fuck are they? And how much, obviously it hasn't, my main concern would be in the government, is this a national defense issue? Like what's happening here? And if I know what it is already and it's extraterrestrial, why would I release that to the public?
Yeah. And
because I don't know what would happen. Imagine they've probably run risk scenarios about what would happen if they, if they release it. They've had to done those studies.
Of course. Could you imagine the amount of fear?
If the president or something, would people be fear-based?
Oh, absolutely. Think about how that would
change religion.
It changed religion, and religion is one of the biggest power brokers around.
Yeah, 100%.
What I contend against with this UAP word is that it's aerial phenomenon.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's not. It's really actually not a good acronym. Unidentified flying object, because things can fly through space. They can fly through water. It's a better one.
Yeah, the flying part, yes.
But an aerial phenomenon, it's only a phenomenon. What's good about the word phenomenon is that it's something that
sounds good in rap.
Yeah, it's occurring, but you don't know how it occurs.
Something like a phenomenon.
Right, which means that you're lacking in your idea of material physics to understand the course of what is occurring in front of you. Phenomenon's a good word. So I would have called it unidentified flying phenomenon, UFPs.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I would have probably appreciated
I just think that
who gives a shit what I think?
Everybody has that. When you talk to majority of people, if they're not into UFOs, they're like, oh, UFOs, those are all those crazy people, blah, 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 that think that there's these grays that are coming in, they get abducted. So there's kind of a stigma because, and as well as I do, I think some of this, my opinion is, I think a large percent of this is programs that we're running that we don't want people to know about. So why would I release anything anyways? I think a lot of these are drones, military drones.
So do you remember in the RAW contact reports?
Yeah, they asked how many.
And they said, well, where's it coming from? They said there's an area, a no man's zone, a dead area of desert in between Mexico and New Mexico, where majority of these things come out and they're just drones of the United States. They're anti-gravity and everything. Great, but they're drones.
Yeah, you don't want China and Russia to know this.
This was in the 80s.
Yeah. Because that's the next step. The next step is drones. The next step is, what was that great movie where the guys would go into and they would fight against each other? The young kids, they had to learn, and then they went through, and then they had to fight each other basically on a simulation in a computer. But I think it was drones or whatever. Remember that?
Yes.
People are probably saying it right now. It was a good movie. I liked it.
Great movie. It almost brings me back to like the earlier things. Like, remember the film War Games?
Yes.
Kids playing chess or checkers against the.
But that's where we're headed. We're not. A fighter pilot is going to be gone eventually.
Why have them?
Yeah, there's no.
For what?
When Tom Cruise dies, it's over.
There will be no fighter pilots after Tom Cruise.
Top Gun was good.
Yeah. So here's an interesting part here, and then we can not talk about this article anymore. Who the hell writes a three paragraph article? Come on.
It's like a little news blip.
Yeah. In announcing the group members, NASA official Daniel Evans declared that the space agency has brought together some of the world's leading scientists, data and artificial intelligence practitioners, aerospace safety experts, all with a specific charge, which is to tell us how to apply the full focus of science and data to UAP. So they're saying they're just trying to figure out how to analyze this? What's so difficult about it? Seriously, what's so difficult? The thing's flying around faster than you can catch it. What? Do you want to know if something's piloting it? Probably not.
Well, if they want to be able to understand the data, and they can take all their data, we can help them with that.
Yeah, if you want Tartle to commission a global army of people submitting their UFO photos or video, we can do that.
Yeah, that would be easy.
You could buy some right now. I can buy. You don't know the power of Tartle? I can go out and buy all that data right now. I'll send it to him as a gift. What the heck?
Here's globally, 222 countries.
It says right here, considering, exactly. It says, considering the space agency's relative silence surrounding the topic for decades. First of all, NASA does not give a shit about UFOs. They are a business like anything else. And the only thing they're doing is building rocket boosters and moving cargo from planet Earth to the International Space Station. That's what NASA does. And they ran out of a ton of money. Of course they're going to be silent. That's not even their goal. They can barely get funding from the government. That's why they partnered with SpaceX. Get out of here. Stupid. Figure it out. They don't care.
Yeah,
unless it's a military industrial complex threat, which you wouldn't know. You'd be like, I don't know.
So this is probably like a PR thing.
This is a PR thing. Seriously. In New Mexico.
This is a great marketing.
We've had stuff land here in New Mexico since the late 30s.
Well, before we were here.
Yeah, like, come on.
Native
Americans even. They etched it into the damn petroglyphs.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know what a petroglyph is, it's like acid etched into stone, an image. There's
UFOs of little spacemen with helmets on.
Cool. It's super cool, and they're so old. I just
I'm always weary when the federal government, or any type of government agency, comes out and wants to make something that they've been denying for years. I don't trust that in any sense. Like the French, the France government came out and said that they're real. Russians came out and said they're real.
Canada said they're real.
Britain
said it's real.
Yeah. So, the United States is like,
what does that tell you?
It's like whenever you're doing committees and subcommittees, and
it means the United States has the tech, and most of them are theirs.
Well, the last study that they came out with from the Pentagon, that was kind of just a whitewashed. I think it was 8 pages or 11 pages or something. No report. I've seen the bills and stuff that Congress gets.
Yeah,
they're like this big. And the reports that they send out, intelligence reports and stuff like that are just monster huge PDFs, thousands of pages. So to send something out that's 8 or 11 pages or something like that is almost like a joke.
It's a joke.
I mean, that's probably the shortest paper that the Pentagon's come out with.
Yeah, it's an absolute joke. And I was also reading that South Africa has some of the finest technology.
Yes.
Who the hell's talking? Yeah, here's what we do with articles like that. We crinkle that bullshit up and we throw it that way. We're here to teach you guys something useful. And someone's coming out with studies that's a publicity stunt. Just recognize the fact that it's just an absolute effing distraction.
Keep your eyes to the skies.
Keep your eyes to the skies, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we should do?
That's a t-shirt right there.
I kind of like that.
I just came up with that.
We got
I probably saw it from somewhere.
No, we got to do that. That's great. What I'd like to do an episode. What we'll do is we'll use Tartle. We'll buy a bunch of UFO photos that people have taken.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put it on as a visual slideshow for our video watchers, and we'll just comment on every single picture that we get.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Be a blast.
This is fake. This is real.
That's fake. That's legit. That's a question. that's absolute trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we have information of where these different spacecraft come from. That there's information out there, channeling information and stuff like that gives descriptions of them.
Correct. Yeah.
So we know what they look like.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
100%. We'll do that.
All right. Cool deal. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.